All right, welcome back to Draw 2 of the Coyotes Curling Club Canada Week Bond Spiel, proudly presented by KeatsConnelly, your cross-border tax advisors. We've got a full field here today and tomorrow. It's going to culminate on Sunday around 2 o'clock. Should be a good time. You know, we've got a lot of Americans in town. We've got a lot of Canadians in town. We've got a lot of people here looking to get a little loony tonight. On the second draw of the night, we've got on sheet A, we've got Paul Devlin out of Winnipeg against Justin McBride and the boys out of Orange County, bromancing the stone. Sheet B, we've got the Coyotes rink. I think that's Ron Sura as skip, Tom Fuller as vice, Luba Brock as second, and Sandra Durbin as lead. Over on the four sheets to the win, that's Dennis Sukup, Kendall Andrews, Steve Andrews, and Faith Sukup. Over on sheet C, we've got Hilderman against Old Guys. The lineup for Hilderman is Les. I guess he's kind of like Madonna, doesn't have any last name. Then we've got Lauren Hilderman, Dan, and Brenda. Very mysterious team over there against Hilderman. And the Old Guys, we've got Hal Perkey, Carl Nazo, Peter Maxey, and Brian Cristal. And that's the sheet that we're on right now. Seeing Carl Nazo's shot. Let's have a look here. Catch up with the action.
For the Old Guys, this is actually a pretty good warm-up. They're getting ready to go play the U.S. Club Seniors in St. Paul, or is it in Blaine coming up here in a couple of weeks? Actually, I think they leave Wednesday.
Yep, I think you're absolutely right. I think it's Blaine. Okay, and we'll be bringing you some live updates here pretty soon. They had lots of rocks in play there. Hildeman against Old Guys. Old Guys took a few. Let's head over to Sheet A and check out. Okay, let's see where we are. Devlin against Bromance. This is Paul Devlin. Looks like last of Skip Stones. Looks like Devlin's going to just try to nose hit for one against Bromancing.
This should be an interesting. This should be an interesting matchup. This should be an interesting matchup, depending on how.
Yeah, I agree. Well, there we go. One for Devlin. Let's see here. Since we just got here, let's stick with these guys for just a little bit. All right, Justin's calling number, zone 3, center line guard. It's a good play if you don't have the hammer, trying to steal.
It's good to see them come back again for another event.
Yeah, certainly with so many clubs close to Phoenix in the Phoenix area, the California area, it's nice to see them out here so often. It's just a quick car ride or short flight.
Doesn't help that they also have family in town.
That's right. And as expected with the center line guard, the shot was to come around. Looks like Justin's going to call that same shot and follow him in.
Pretty textbook play, probably a little bit deeper than they had wanted. Behind the tee line there allows them to freeze, gives them maybe a few more options.
That's right. It's probably a good time to let you know that the Orange County Curling Club is the registration is open for their Surf City Spiel. That's in June, if I believe. Oh, nice come around. And I don't think we went through the lineup for McBride. The bromancing has consisted of Skip, Justin McBride, Vince, Ryan Hardy. Second is Ted French, and lead is Joel Calhoun. It's Joel's family that lives here in town.
It's, that is correct. Only about 10-15 minutes away from the rink.
Yeah. Ted French. I don't know if we've seen Ted French out here before.
Certainly, if so, not with Justin's team.
Mm-hmm. Well, you got a lot of rocks in play over here. You've got Devlin Shot Rock with some backers there, some catchers on the yellow. It's not typically the game Justin likes to play with all those rocks in the back. Fortunately, though, for him, he does have the hammer, and most of those rocks are behind the tee line. Great shot. Great shot by, is that Joel who threw? Well, it couldn't have been. Should have been Ted French. It's great. This is going to force Paul to just hit and get a little bit of a separation there between the red and the yellow. We've got to unlock those. That's what they'd call that. A little old school sliding there. You can see the corn broom behind. It's telltale sign of Winnipegger.
Yeah, the Devlin team, a little old school from top to bottom in a lot of the way they do things here. It's
Yeah.
kind of a eye-opener for a lot of the newer curlers around the club, that's for sure.
Yeah, no, agreed. Yeah, Paul's got a 10-year-old pair of Adidas kicks that he's got stainless steel slider on. Good shot there. Does create an opportunity for some offense for Justin.
It was funny when we had the Learn to Curl a couple weeks ago, or the mini Spiel for a lot of the Canadians that were down, and they went to the broom bucket, and the first thing they all grabbed were the horse hairs or the hog hairs.
Hogger, yeah, yeah. Old habits are hard to die. Yeah, let's see what Justin's trying to do here. I suspect maybe a little hit and roll. Hit the inside of that red just off nose and roll into the center. Okay, well, we got a lot more. Everybody's, we're just sort of jockeying for that first rock position. Looks like this is going to be the second shot. Nice weight. Again, it spills off a little bit, maybe just a little heavier than they wanted. Okay, well, we got a lot more. Everybody's, we're just sort of jockeying for that first rock position. All right, shot comes down. Just didn't. I don't think it curled the way they were expecting it to. Looks like Bromancing is now sitting shot 1-2. Justin's looking to throw up a maybe high guard. You don't want to run it too close to that shot stone, or it gives the Paul the ability to do the run back double. You don't want to do that.
And we did see the other night he is certainly capable of throwing the upweight shots.
Mm-hmm. And after this, we'll probably head over to sheet B after this and look at our friends from Denver, see what they're doing. 4 sheets to the win. Looks like, if Justin really wanted to, I think he's going to try to do that centerline guard and protect what he's got. He is shot 1 and 2, but he does have that out-turn hit on the that lone red in the 8-foot for a potential big end, maybe get a 4 out of this. I'm sure he's already seen it, but
Definitely going with the more prudent play.
yep. All right, so Paul shots away. See if he can get around that centerline guard. Oh, hey, Dale. Again, we'd like to thank KeatsConnelly for sponsoring such a wonderful event. This event wouldn't be possible without their help. If you need any help, certainly look up Dale Walters. If you need to bring any large amount of money, north or south, they're the team to contact here in the valley. Again, that's KeatsConnelly. All right. This is the final stone for Justin McBride out of Bromancing the Stone. After this, we're going to head over to sheet B. Let's see here. Justin does have the ability here to potentially get around those through the port and lay 3. Could be a big end. Oh, Ryan's down looking at it. Looks like it's tracking in nice, going through the port. Looks like he's actually kind of waving it. Wishes it was a guard. Well, then I must have got my information wrong. I believe then Devlin, Romancing the Stone, must have stole one that last end. So here's going to be a big decision for Paul. He's potential to have 2 shots stolen against him. Looks like he's calling the run back on that red on the left side, just touching the 12-foot. See if he can do an angle raise onto that shot and outdo those 2 yellow counters right now. It's a big shot for Paul. You don't want to be down 3-0 after the second inning, second end. All right, we'll get it. So Paul shots away. Paul's a Winnipegger, and I believe Paul does have some Brier experience. I think in the late '60s, early '70s, if I'm not mistaken. I have to look that up. No. And it doesn't look like it's going to have enough weight or line. Does run it into the rings. Looks like it's a steal at 2 for Bromancing the Stone. So unless we hear otherwise, we'll assume that's what's happened. They're going to go into the third end. And then we'll head over to sheet B as promised. Oh, overshot that.
Looks like we got a nice centerline guard and a couple of corner guards, and red has a nice freeze too. And the Coyotes team is actually a bit of a hybrid team, coming out of north of the border as well. And Luba there in the pink vest is actually playing for her brother, who's skipping. Little sibling rivalry going on.
One of the great things leading up to this Spiel was for the last several weeks on the Mondays, the open ice practice. We've had a good number of these teams down here already, uh, putting some time in, working on shots, getting used to the ice, and hanging out, telling stories. It's been very enjoyable thus far. And we're definitely seeing a variety of styles in these games, that's for certain. Just updated that score there through 2. The Coyotes are up 3-1 over 4 sheets. So Coyotes appear to be looking to steal 2 at the moment. It's interesting in watching how they've been working that same sheet, the outturn for the majority of the people trying to just follow that track. And I wonder if they couldn't come around the other way with the way those guards are staggered, the red guards, and put something else top of 4 foot and possibly sit 3. Just wrecks on that guard, opening up a bit, giving 4 sheets an opportunity to draw in, possibly just tap back, maybe freeze, uh, grab a part of that button. Shots away. Interesting call to come in with that much weight. Wonder if it was possibly a touch overthrown or if they were trying to chip it out and or hit and stick. You can see Ron talking about putting something top of the 8 foot, cutting them off. Probably not a bad play. Force them to probably come around the other side, and by doing so, if they haven't thrown any stones that way, it may be a little difficult to judge the line a little bit more, or force them to do something they're not comfortable doing. Certainly looks like he's come up a bit lighter than they'd anticipated. However, should probably over curled a bit as well, leaving that port open for the draw or the freeze. But there again, they're not even talking about coming around that other way. Definitely a big shot here. Would hate to go down 5-1 if you come up light, especially after 3 having given up a steal of 2. And as opposed to being light, little Kodak moment there, flash in the house. And it's 2 more for red after 3. And we'll probably take a moment here and head over to sheet C for a moment, and where we've got Hilderman versus the old guys. See what's happening. So we've got a nice center line guard set up by the by Hilderman. Looks like they came around nice as well. Now, the old guys are skipped by Hal Perkey, but he's been throwing the lead stones the first couple of weeks. Starting to see more and more of that here over the past couple of years. So this will be an interesting call here coming around trying to tap that back through, maybe peel it out. And they do end up peeling the guard away, so not all is lost. We're calling for top of the 12 foot there. A little bit of a guard, but if we get a biter as well. Oh, trying to get some separation. Hell, calling for peel weight, wanting to take those stones out, maybe see if we can't double two of them. Looked like the sweepers were on it early. They get one and do manage to stick around, so at least they've got something in the 12 foot, but they're still looking at giving up 3 at the moment. And I do finally have an updated score. It is 2-1 after 3. So this could be a game-changing end, as there was a blank in the second. Now the old guys, worst case, should manage to still have a draw for 1 to try and cut him down, but they could really, Hilderman could really put some pressure on. And here's actually a really nice double opportunity for Pete. And if you manage to stick around on this one, all of a sudden you've got a little something to work with. And he was wide, takes out the one, the mid 8-foot, and does not manage to stick around. And now Team Hillerman talking about throwing up just a guard, which is probably a smart play, because that only leaves an angle up, or an angle raise, possibly, something of that nature. This looks like it's probably a pretty well executed. Oh, it does come in a bit deeper than they were anticipating. Leaving a triple if they can throw it heavy enough. Now Carl probably can throw the most weight on the team, so this is a possibility. Even if he dislodges a couple of them just to get out of this mess. Again, the call for peel weight. Shots away. Hal seems to be liking it thus far. Sweeping for line. And it looks like it over-curled just a bit, and ooh, this could be real interesting real soon. So now if you're Hilderman, one of the interesting things is you tried to put up a guard with your last shot, and it came deep. However, it's still counting. The old guys have missed a couple of takeouts. Do you go and try and pile it on and put another one in the house, or do you go back to the guard? You know, and over the course of a weekend, ends add up, sweeping adds up. You know, it's early enough. Maybe you go and try and shake early and save the energy for later on in the weekend if you get a chance to score 4 or maybe even 5 in an end. And they are bringing this into the house. So at the moment, Hilderman is counting 5. Hal coming out to take a look. That's the right call. Let's wonder if they were discussing possibly running that yellow back. I mean, when you're facing 5 with your 8th stone, there's typically not a whole lot of options. Carl's out of the hack. Definitely coming with a little bit of heat. Probably trying to throw about a 9 to 10 second hog to hog. He does catch that on the nose, and it is a steal of 4 for Hilderman. And on that, we'll probably go over to sheet D for a moment, and we'll check out what's going on over there between Sears and the Button Dwellers. And it looks like we got some good conversation happening. The Sears team, one of the hybrids that are participating between Canadian clubs and some of the locals here in Phoenix. And then there's the ever popular Carol Huntress back there with his white mane. And he's got Dwayne Herberg playing with him, as well as Dan Bosler. And it looks like Corey Brown may be playing today as well. And Carroll wasting no time, showing Dwayne where he wants the broom put down. He's got Corey and Dan out there to sweep. Dwayne is vice. He's played all around. Travels quite a bit for work. So he played out of St. Paul for a few years. He's played out of California. Now currently playing out of the Coyotes Curling Club here in Arizona. Calling off. Looks like they're maybe going for a raise. They are able to come over and freeze on the 1, but it does look like Sears may still be laying shot 1-2 and calling to have the guard put back up, top of the 12-foot. And now maybe they're reconsidering a little bit. It's definitely a prudent play to put the stone up there, protect your shot rock. So shots away. Looks like they're going to possibly be a bit heavy. And this will be interesting as Carroll has an open draw to the 4-foot for his 1. Nice easy in turn. Throw it to the 12-foot, have your people sweep it to the 4-foot, and you're off to the races. Carroll, known for his draw, loves to play a draw game. I expect this to be every bit in the 4-foot, if not covering the pin. And just touching the back for 1. And it looks like we can get a view of that score as well, as the Button Dwellers are actually up 6-2 after 4. Sears calling for the come around. Judging from the score, he may wish Roebuck was still with him. And even though we are playing with the 4-stone free guard zone, that red did find the house, so Carroll calling for the takeout. And if they manage to get this, this could be a pretty good situation. Well, pretty much a nose hit. Does stay outside the 12-foot. Sears again calling for the come around on it. Carroll looking very relaxed back there in the house. And they just missed the run back on it. However, they do roll over and protect their own, totally exposing the red Sears stone. Still trying to get that come around. And after this end, we'll probably go take a look, see what's happening back over on sheet A, where we've got Paul Devlin versus McBride's team, Bromancing the Stone. Carroll calling for the takeout. Wanting normal. Looked like line may have been a touch tight. Nice hit and roll. Splitting the house effectively. Well done by Dan Bosler. Playing second for the Button Dwellers. Now Sears looking for hopefully the same thing. Take out the stone, roll back behind cover. He's got Rebecca Clark throwing for him. Sears looking to go for that hit and roll again. Coming out a little bit more gusto there as his third. Dennis Gauthier. Gets the hit, gets some roll. Not quite undercover, but at the same time, definitely mixing it up a little bit. Not really sure why Carroll's scratching his head, not a whole lot to think about. Just a hair thin. Oof. Little Linda Ronstadt action, little Blue Bayou there. Looking for that same hit and roll. Try and get under some cover. Okay. It looks like Carroll's going to try and come around that other side and make something happen here. Stone is completely visible still. Be interesting to see if Carroll goes with a regular normal takeout or if he tries to play something a little bit more hack to board and get it to slide out just barely out through the back and stick around. Nice shot there by Carroll. Loses the shooter, but at the same time is still currently sitting 2. Sears with the first of his 2 stones, trying to draw back around behind cover. So we have the 3:30 draw, which is currently going on. Then we also have the 6:15 draw, which will feature Dr. J and the Hogliners versus Cap, Roll, and Jiggle. House Rules versus Peck. And another game that is to be determined at the moment. And then after that, we also have the 8:30 draw this evening, which will take on the winner of the Devlin Bromancing the Stone, which is currently on sheet A, versus Taken for Granite, who were winners earlier today. And then you'll have the winner of the Coyotes versus 4 Sheets to the Win game, and the Hilderman old guys as well. So a shot does manage to find the button, however it does not get under much cover, leaving Carroll with an open hit. And depending on what happens here, Sears will have a draw for one. A little bit of a score update here on Sheet A. We've got Devlin up 3-2 over Bromancing the Stone through 5. On Sheet B, the Coyotes are up 9-1 over 4 sheets through 6. Sheet C, Hilderman is up 5-3 over the old guys through 6. And the game we're currently watching, we have the Button Dwellers up 6-2 over Sears playing in the 5th. Did we have this backwards earlier?
We could have.
And we're going to cut over to that sheet A game right now. And it looks like we're going to get a chance to see McBride's last shot here. And it looks like Carol Ann's intent on seeing what's going on there as well. And it looks like Justin's just trying to come down and freeze. And that score is actually all tied up at 3s, and it looks like Justin just took one to go up 4-3 after 5.
CG's at 5 and 6 if you want.
And here we go. Justin calling for that high 3. Wanting just a center line guard. Well executed. And Paul quickly, without hesitation, just steps in right behind and says, "Draw around for me." And Caroline coming up a bit light. Justin wanting to put up another 3. Sitting on 1. Typical strategy of trying to junk the front up when you're looking to steal. Joel's second shot's away. Paul calling for backline weight, wanting to just tap that out. You know, it's interesting that he's calling for tap line out or back line for the tap out. I was watching a game from a year or two ago, McEwen versus Jacobs the other night on online, and Cheryl Bernard was talking about they went back and looked at all the hit and rolls over the last couple of years, and hit and rolls thrown at normal had a success rate between 50 and 55% at the elite level. However, hit and rolls thrown at hack to bumper weight were closer to 75%. And one of the things that they really looked at and talked about in trying to figure out the difference was a lot of the hit and rolls played at the heavier weight had a tendency to either hit and stick, or if they rolled too much. And one of the reasons they attributed it possibly rolling too much is the ice being so much faster today than a few years ago, but also the stones being of a denser pattern, granite pattern, having rolling better, and that's what was causing the overroll in a lot of cases. Paul now looking to just split the house here. Make his move to try and get 2. And in this KeatsConnelly Canada Week Spiel that we got going on, we do have a team out there right now with the Devlins and Caroline. Full Canadian team going on there, and Don Peterson. And Justin as well. Lives in California via Canada. Paul currently sitting 3. Looking for another one there, top of the 12. Curl around behind those 2 guards of Justin's that he's got up. Well executed shot there. You know, I wonder if a bit of a play here wouldn't be the hit and roll. Yep, there we go. We just see it called out. Try and free up that side, but then roll behind cover. Yep. One peel weight. Here we go, coming on down the line. Rex on his own guard. And Devlin is looking to possibly put up a big end here if they can find a way to hold on to this or guard it back up. That shot's probably coming a little bit deeper than they'd initially wanted. However, they now sit 5. McBride's going to have to do a little house cleaning here. Calling for the same hit and roll, only now there's more cover to get behind. He's liking it. And it rolls just a little too much. Paul trying to keep this house split. And we'll have to get you an updated score over there on sheet B, as I see they are shaking hands. Paul going out to sweep. Looking like it's probably a bit lighter than what they were hoping. Well, that's actually a pretty big miss, because now Justin on the first of his 2 stones can do some house cleaning. That triple's definitely there. And that would be a heck of a shot as well. My bad. Looks like they're coming to draw around. Interesting call on that. So Paul and company still sitting 4 as he's got his first of 2 stones coming up. And we are in the 6th end of this. Marnie holding the broom for her husband. Paul using the old corn broom to deliver. Real distinguished tuck position. Out of East St. Paul. And beautiful draw there. Puts it right on the button. So now McBride's really got some thinking to do as far as how he wants to try and minimize the damage. Calling the sweepers off. And it looks like Paul and company still is sitting 4. It'll be interested to see what he tries to do here. If he just takes his money and runs, or if he tries to find a way to chip that out, or if he's going to come in on the other side and possibly try and sneak a 5th in. I do kind of like the idea of freezing up to where he was pointing there on that second stone sitting in the 12 foot, because that probably would give him 5. And for those of you that are watching at home and in the area, feel free to swing on down. We also are playing live all weekend and all through next week as well. Live coverage of the Scotties Tournament of Hearts from Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan. Where Team Holman is actually looking for her 3rd consecutive championship in that event. And that looks like 5 Rouge. Good work by Team Devlin. And just like that, they managed to double up, romancing the stone going into the 7th end. And we're going to cut over to sheet C, where we've got Hilderman versus the old guys. As it looks like we got a little bit of action going on there. And an updated score. They are knotted up at 5s through 6. Hilderman with the hammer in this end. And over on D, it certainly looks like the Button Dwellers are running away with it there over Team Sears. Hilderman with the first of his 2 stones. I'm not sure if he's trying to just draw in or tap back at this point. And yeah, the Button Dwellers are up 10-2. And I suspect they will be shaking hands on sheet D very shortly. And the old guys are in a good position here at the moment to steal 2, it looks like, as Carl Naso is going to be throwing the 8th stone here for the old guys, skipped by Hal Perky, who's been throwing the lead stones, and just calling for a nice easy 2-3 guard, prevent any opportunity to run back, and if Hilderman's going to get one, he's going to have to earn it. And to be up 2 coming home in the 8th without the hammer is not a bad position to be in a game like this, where there's been a lot of stones in play. Carl coming out of the hack, shots away, just looking for that 2-3 guard, as the old guys are looking to steal 2. Good preparation for their seniors coming up, their senior club nationals up in Minnesota. Lots of good experience as they leave later this week. And well done. Now they're going to have to throw a double run back on it if they're going to make anything happen. Hilderman looking to make something happen. Sweeper's called off on the shot. And it looks like a steal of one. But we could be coming down to a measurement. Oh, and they do say one yellow. So old guys take a 6-5 lead going into the eighth. And this is always an interesting situation. Would you rather be up one without the hammer coming home, or down one with it? No right, no wrong answer, but statistically over the last few years it has been proven that being up one without the hammer is still better than being down one with it. And part of the reason for that is if you take your one, or you hold them to one and you play an extra end, you then have the hammer going back for the one. Otherwise, you still have the lead. If they don't get their one, you win. And just a quick update from over on Sheet A, where Devlin was up 8-4 over Bromancing the Stone. Devlin is currently sitting 2, about halfway through the end. A lot can change, obviously, but definitely keeping the pressure on. Calling for the draw. And as you can see, pretty lively warm room there. It looks like Sean Keeling just walked in. See Daryl Horseman walking around in the background there, as well as Dave Peck and a few others. Good to see some familiar faces. Be interesting to see what Hal does here, if he just calls for the free. Oh, he is calling for back line. Brian Cristal getting ready for the first of his 2 stones. Bit inside from where they wanted. Wrecked on his own guard, but replaced it as well. And now we'll see what Team Hilderman goes to do. Calling for top of the 12 foot. Saying 3-4's okay. Definitely take it. Protect the one they have. A little bit heavier, and by that not curling over, it does leave the double there. Yep, calling for normal takeout. No time wasted. Hell, calling off the sweepers. They do get the one, leave the second, but still in a pretty good position with regards to how exposed it is. Nice guard. Now Perky and the old guys are kind of back to the drawing board. It's interesting how people get tunnel vision. Possibly he's wanting to call that back, okay. And not maybe wanting to come around that other side. Coming down. Oh, wrecks off his own guard, but it does open up the front a bit and does expose that shot rocket sitting at the top of the 4-foot. So Hilderman's going to have to put that back up. And still find a way to maybe to score 2. Otherwise, they'll go to a last end draw. And this isn't a bad way to do it by calling out that hit and roll possibly. And this could be real trouble right now. They can come right down the gut there. on the first or two stones, double this out. Be sitting 3. Well executed takeout there. Sitting 1. Did manage to get rid of the other one. So now, if they go here, this could be interesting. We have seen a couple teams struggle with the upweight shots so far here in the last draw and a half or so. Shots away, coming out with a little bit of pepper on it. And now we'll see if the old guys can't get a hit and roll, maybe freeze onto that red one or get the double. And then they'd be sitting 3. The double's definitely there. Just a matter of Carl throwing enough weight to go with it to get that shot stone to carry all the way over. And Hal wants him to come down and take a look as well. You know, and it's interesting for a lot of people that don't throw those upweight shots or aren't accustomed to throwing them or don't really like to throw them. Sometimes they don't even see some of those shots. And Carl coming away here with the shot. Sorry about that there. Had the mic off for a moment. Huh. And I wonder if that wasn't more of a setup shot. As right now, Hilderman would be in a position to win Shot 7 from them. Throw a guard up, and I don't know necessarily what that leaves the old guys unless there's a tap raise back, perhaps. Coming on down the line. Sweepers are called off. Called on. And I don't know if they're looking to draw or to do that double tap raise. Carl suggesting just a straight run back. Or they could just try the angle off in. And this right here, folks, is going to be the game. I have a feeling. Carl getting set. Pete and Brian sweeping it in. Going for that tap. And that's it. We'd like to thank those of you who are watching. I would like to remind you we do have another draw coming up here shortly right afterwards. Until then, we will sign off and thank you for all those who participated. Again, this was the Draw 2 of the Canada Week Spiel presented by KeatsConnelly. Coming up is Draw 3 in celebration here at the Arizona Coyotes Curling Club, coming to you live from Tempe, Arizona.